The Buffalo Bills came out on top in their Thursday night showdown, defeating the Miami Dolphins by a score of 31-21. It was a game that tested Buffalo's patience and composure, but in the end, the Bills proved once again why they belong among the AFC's top contenders. With this victory, the Bills improved their record to 3-0, continuing their undefeated start to the season. On the other side, the Dolphins slipped to 0-3, a tough beginning for a team that entered the year with high expectations but has yet to find its rhythm. This wasn't just another win for Buffalo. It was a statement, a reminder that even in hard-fought, grinding matchups, they have the talent, discipline, and mental toughness to come out on top. The Bills handled adversity, capitalized on mistakes, and walked away with their third straight win to keep momentum rolling. Josh Allen once again showed why he is the heartbeat of this Buffalo team. He delivered a sharp and efficient outing, completing 22 of 28 passes for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns, while also adding 25 yards on the ground. What stood out most was his patience. Instead of forcing risky throws or chasing highlight reel plays, Allen took what the Dolphins' defense gave him. He spread the ball around, trusted the system, and stayed in rhythm throughout the night. It was smart, balanced football, the type of performance that doesn't just win games, but builds long-term confidence for the offense. Allen's ability to stay composed, manage the pace, and execute in critical moments gave Buffalo the steady hand they needed to secure the victory. The Bills' offense delivered a well-rounded performance, fueled by contributions from multiple playmakers. Dalton Kincaid was a major factor in the passing game, catching 5 passes for 66 yards and a touchdown. And it could have been an even bigger night. Kincaid was close to adding 2 more scores, showing just how dangerous he's becoming as a red zone target. Elijah Moore continued his clutch playmaking. His biggest moment came on a critical 2nd and 16 conversion late in the game, where he found space, made himself available to Josh Allen, and turned it into a first down. Plays like that don't always grab headlines, but they win football games. Khalil Shakir also stepped up with 4 catches for 45 yards, including the go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter, exactly the type of timely play Buffalo needed to finish the job. And once again, James Cook powered the ground attack. He ran the ball 19 times for 108 yards and a touchdown, marking his 3rd straight game with over 100 scrimmage yards. He's proving to be one of the most consistent backs in the league right now. A big part of Buffalo's success came from the heavy use of tight end sets in 12 and 13 personnel, which helped create balance and keep Miami's defense off guard. It was a smart mix of scheme and execution that showcased the depth of this offense. Defensively, the Bills had a night filled with both big plays and frustrating lapses. The headline moment came from linebacker Terrell Bernard, who delivered the game-changing play with a clutch interception off Tua Tagovailoa. That turnover swung momentum back to Buffalo at a critical time and gave the defense the spark it needed. Still, it wasn't a flawless performance. The Bills struggled to stay gap-sound against the run, allowing Miami to sustain long drives. One of the most damaging sequences came when the Dolphins marched 16 plays for 71 yards, draining the clock and keeping Josh Allen off the field. That series highlighted the inconsistency in Buffalo's run defense, which will need tightening up moving forward. The defense did, however, show resilience. After giving up some early drives, they forced 2 straight punts from Miami in the second half, exactly the kind of stops you want when trying to seize control of a game. But the frustration came from the offense's inability to capitalize on those chances with points. Overall, Buffalo's defense proved opportunistic. They made the plays that mattered late, avoided beating themselves, and let Miami's mistakes, from penalties to turnovers, shift the game in their favor. While Buffalo walked away with the win, there were plenty of moments that showed how much cleaner this team can still be. One key missed opportunity was the chance for a double dip, scoring late in the first half and then opening the second half with another drive. Instead, the Bills came up empty, leaving the door open for Miami to hang around. Special teams also created some unnecessary stress. Kicker Matt Prater hit a crucial late field goal, but he also missed earlier in the game, which could have given Buffalo firmer control. Add in the opening kickoff return by Miami, which set the Dolphins up with a short field, and the special teams' performance felt shaky overall. On offense, there were a few frustrating possessions where Buffalo failed to finish drives. Even after forcing Miami into consecutive punts in the second half, the Bills' offense couldn't turn those stops into points. Penalties and execution errors stalled drives, wasting chances to truly put the game away earlier. These lapses didn't cost Buffalo this time, but in tighter contests against stronger opponents, missed chances like these can be the difference between winning and losing. It's a reminder that even at 3-0, the Bills still have areas to sharpen. If there's one area that should concern Bills fans coming out of this win, it's third downs. Miami went 11 of 16 on third and fourth downs, consistently extending drives and keeping Buffalo's defense on the field. Even in third-and-long situations, the Dolphins found ways to convert. The pass rush simply wasn't there. Tua Tagovailoa dropped back 34 times and wasn't sacked once. In fact, he was only hit a single time all game. That's unacceptable, especially considering Miami was missing multiple starters on the right side of its offensive line. Coverage also struggled at times. Asking Tre'Davious White and Christian Benford to stick with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle without much pass rush help was always going to be difficult. Tua had the time he needed, and when that happens, his accuracy usually wins. The absence of Ed Oliver in the middle was obvious, but bigger questions surround Greg Rousseau. After a quiet start to the season, this was another game where he failed to make an impact. For a player expected to take the next step, the Bills need more. If Buffalo wants to hold up against top-tier offenses, third-down defense and pass rush execution must improve. Otherwise, too much pressure will fall on the secondary, and against elite speed like Miami's, that's a dangerous gamble. Despite the struggles on third down, Buffalo's defense still deserves credit for bending but not breaking. The Dolphins finished with just 21 points and 276 total yards, numbers that usually translate to a Bills victory every single time. The key difference was Buffalo's ability to stay disciplined. Instead of pressing or making reckless mistakes, they trusted that Miami would eventually crack under the pressure of playing against Josh Allen. And that's exactly what happened. The Bills forced the Dolphins into costly penalties, including 2 illegal man downfield calls and a roughing the punter mistake by Zach Sealer that extended a Buffalo drive. On top of that, Tua Tagovailoa threw a critical interception, picked off by Terrell Bernard, flipping momentum back to the Bills. This is where the Bills' maturity showed. They didn't have their cleanest game, but they refused to beat themselves. Instead, they played sound football and waited for Miami to blink first. Against teams like the Jets and Ravens earlier this season, that same approach worked, and once again, the Dolphins fell right into the trap. It's a formula built on patience, discipline, and confidence. And for a team with championship aspirations, those traits matter just as much as talent. Special teams were a mixed bag in this game. The opening kickoff was a disaster, with Miami returning the ball near midfield and setting up an early scoring chance. Later, kicker Matt Prater hit a huge late field goal to extend Buffalo's lead to 2 scores, but he also missed an earlier attempt that could have given the Bills better control of the game script. There was also a scary moment when returner Tyler Codrington muffed a punt, though Buffalo was lucky to recover the ball. On punt coverage, rookie Dorian Strong struggled as a jammer, often beaten by Miami's gunners. These are small details, but against strong opponents, mistakes like these can shift momentum quickly. In short, Buffalo's special teams weren't as sharp as they were against the Jets a week earlier. While Prater's clutch kick late helped seal the win, the unit left plenty of room for improvement moving forward. Each week, predictions are made, and accountability matters. This time, the record was 2 out of 5. The first 3 didn't hit. Josh Palmer's first touchdown as a Bill didn't happen. He was quiet, with just 1 catch for 5 yards. A first sack for Deion Walker or T.J. Sanders also didn't happen. The pass rush overall came up short. Khalil Shakir reaching 50 receiving yards. He finished with 45, just 5 yards shy. Close, but still a miss. But the last 2 predictions delivered. Buffalo finally got its first interception of the season, thanks to Terrell Bernard's game-sealing pick. And most importantly, the Bills got the win. So, it finished at 2-5, not perfect, but the biggest prediction of them all, a Buffalo victory, came true. Next up, the Bills continue their 3-game homestand. After beating Miami, they'll host the New Orleans Saints in Week 4, followed by the New England Patriots. That means 4 of their first 5 games are at home, a big chance to stack wins early. The Saints come in with plenty of question marks, especially at quarterback. Many consider them to have one of the weakest QB situations in the league. Still, they've been more competitive than expected, and Buffalo can't afford to overlook them. For the Bills, the formula stays the same: play smart football, avoid costly mistakes, and let their talent shine. With momentum from a 3-0 start, this stretch is a real opportunity to separate themselves in the AFC race. For the Bills, this win sets the tone. A 3-0 start, confidence building, and now a chance to enjoy the weekend stress-free. Playing on Thursday night means Buffalo gets extra rest while watching the rest of the league battle it out. Fans can sit back and enjoy a great slate of games: Eagles vs. Rams, Broncos vs. Chargers, Giants vs. Chiefs on Sunday night, and Ravens vs. Lions on Monday. And of course, Bills fans will be rooting for results that help Buffalo in the AFC race. The key takeaway: the Bills are undefeated, they handled a tough division rival, and they're showing the maturity to blend explosive playmaking with discipline. The next challenge is keeping that energy rolling against the Saints, but for now, it's all about enjoying a victory weekend in Buffalo. Go Bills!